What do a young African talent, a Brazilian goal scorer, a winger compared to Neymar, and a turnaround in negotiations with a Premier League champion have in common? They are all linked to Everton's future. But before diving into the behind-the-scenes details that promise to stir up the blue fans, subscribe to the channel, activate notifications, and leave a like, because what we're going to tell you here today could change the course of the club for the next few years. Starting with a name that has been worked on very carefully behind the scenes, Ngalayel Mukau. At 20 years old, the midfielder is on Everton's radar, with a $17 million offer already in the works. But what really stands out in this story is the endorsement that came directly from a specialist. Dr. Rajpal Brar, a renowned physiotherapist, analyzed the ankle injury that Mukau suffered at the beginning of last season, and the verdict was clear. Nothing serious, no subsequent setbacks, and according to him, the youngster should pass the medical exams without any problems. But as every good Everton fan already knows, young talent is important, but it needs to be measured. Mukau is promising, has technique and versatility, but he is not yet the guy who will dominate the Toffees' number 8 jersey. The most likely scenario? That he will be gradually developed, gaining minutes, and even being loaned out to get a good start. And in the meantime, the club is looking for more experienced names to strengthen the sector, already thinking about the transition to the new stadium from 2025-26. The question remains, will Everton really bet on Mukau now? Or will he just be a piece of the puzzle? Leaving League One and landing directly in Brazilian football, the name of the moment is Yuri Alberto. Everton has been following this striker since 2023, and now everything indicates that they may finally make a firm offer for him. Corinthians' asking price is around the same £17 million. And let's face it, considering what he has been delivering, the price may end up being a bargain. We're talking about a player who has scored 45 goals and provided 11 assists in just 92 matches since the start of last year. An absurd average. One direct involvement in a goal every 128 minutes on the pitch. Numbers that have caught the attention of giants like Roma and Atletico de Madrid. The latter, in fact, have already started talks with the players' staff. But what does this mean for Everton? That if they really want a striker to solve the goal shortage left since Richarlison's departure, they have to act fast. Yuri may not have Premier League experience, but his potential is clear. And if it works out, this could be the signing that changes the face of the Toffees' attack. Meanwhile, Moyes is also keeping an eye on the wingers, one of his top priorities after Jack Harrison's departure. And in this area, the list of targets is only growing. Antonio Musa, from RB Leipzig, has been compared to Neymar. Jack Grealish, from Manchester City, is still a distant dream. But the name that took everyone by surprise behind the scenes at Finch Farm was Tyler Dibbling. The Southampton boy has been hailed as one of the most talented youngsters in England. His former coach, Russell Martin, said he had never worked with anyone so promising, not even James Maddison. As a result, his market value has exploded. There is talk of more than $100 million. However, according to recent reports, an offer of around $51 million could be enough, and Everton are said to be among those interested. It would be a bold signing, yes, but it would also send a clear message that the new owners, the Friedkin Group, are here to make a splash. And while rivals like Liverpool watch from afar, there are those who believe that Everton can make the right move and surprise in this competition. Even with all these names being mentioned, the fans have yet to see any new signings show up at Finch Farm, and the anticipation is only growing. In the midst of this scenario, journalist Alan Myers shed light on a question that many were wondering. What about Kyle Walker? Will he come or not? According to Myers, Everton's interest in Walker is not that strong. On the contrary, their attention seems to be focused on another name, Thierno Barry, an interesting move which may indicate that the club wants to avoid players at the end of their cycle and bet on names with more physical and technical potential. But what caught the most attention was Myers' tone when talking about the market situation. No signings are imminent for now. This may sound frustrating, but at the same time it is a harbinger of a busy July, especially when you consider that Calvert-Lewin's future is up in the air and that replacing the attack is seen as an absolute priority within the club. Everton is indeed moving. And even though the announcements haven't arrived yet, the movement behind the scenes is intense and strategic. Mukau, Alberto, Dibbling, Barry, they are different players with distinct profiles, but who, together, could form the new face of David Moyes' Everton. Now, the big question is, who will be the first to wear blue and white this summer? And what's more, who will be the name that will reignite the flame of the fans in Hill Dickinson? Stay tuned, because as soon as the confirmations start coming out, you'll find out here on the channel. Until then, like, subscribe, and share with that friend who also lives Everton intensely, because the market soap opera is just beginning.